how's it going? This is my second time recording this. I'm gonna try it again. I was a little rusty the first time. I don't know why I'm filming this in the kitchen slash, well, living room back there, but kitchen's right in front of me. I got the nice snowy window to diffuse the light out here. So we're gonna give this a shot. Welcome to my first watch review. Quick backstory. I bought this Timex Expedition Scout at a Kohl's in November of 2025. This is my first adult watch. I had a couple hand-me-down watches. I used to get watches out of crane machines as a kid, but I decided I want to get my own dumb watch because I was scared of busting my Apple Watch. So I went and got this beater watch, as what it has now become, from Kohl's. I looked at JCPenney and Walmart, ended up landing on this blue Expedition Scout with Indiglo. I actually have the specs up on my phone, unlike when I recorded this the first time, so we can go a little more in depth. So it does come by default with these very gorgeous and fairly nice nylon bands. You can see here it's got some leather details on there as well. I don't know if it's real leather, but it does kind of age a little bit. But I ended up going for a pass-through Velcro NATO type band. I got this on Amazon. I think it really matches the look of this watch with that navy blue and white of the hands and the white stripe. And this is a really nice band, and I think it was like $7 or $8. I actually really like it. So I'll get a little close up here. This is a military style Scout watch. So you kind of get, there's a lot of information going on here, a lot of words, a lot of numbers. Hit that thumbnail pose. Does that look good? Good thumbnail pose? You got that white, almost loom looking hands. No loom on this. It does, however, have Indiglo. You can watch this slightly change shades. So I push the crown in. Indiglo is like a backlight for being in a dark scenario. Instead of having the solar charged loom, it does kind of light up here. It's got a red seconds hand, which I like. I'll try to throw some B-roll up and get some really close shots of this. Got a red seconds hand, which I really enjoy. We got those really nice looking hands in there, very thin looking hands, and then nice big indices, and the seconds hand mostly lines up. Then we got that color matched date wheel as well. So this is a pull out crown, not screw down, and it functions well, pushes in for your Indiglo. It's got 5 ATM or 50 meters water resistant. So if you're watching this and you don't really know what water resistance ratings are, I'm gonna give you the quick breakdown. 3 ATM is like, hey, it might survive getting splash washed in your hands. 5 ATM or 50 meters water resistant, every 1 ATM is 10 meters. So 5 ATM, 50 meters water resistant. That's gonna be like getting caught out in the rain, little oopsies. You might know an Apple Watch is rated for 5 ATM and they advertise you taking those swimming. So theoretically you could swim with this, but for some reason, physical analog watches, non-digital watches, they really don't recommend swimming unless you're at 10 ATM or 100 meters water resistant, in which case you can go light swimming. I just want to wash it off with fresh water rather than salt water, because salt water is going to corrode the gaskets and things that make these water resistant. And then anything above that, you're like getting into diving watches and stuff, which is going to be going deep in water. But for this, we're looking at 5 ATM, oops, getting caught in the rain type water resistance here. This is a stainless steel back. Surprise, the case is actually made of brass and it's gunmetal coated. I actually really like the color of this. It does feel a little plasticky in its look. Some people say it ages poorly, but I've had this for a few months. I haven't had any issues with aging. I think it's got like some white, It's got some light wear here around the edges. You can kind of see like this line on that edge and that bottom edge. I think it looks really good, but I'm someone who likes the way brass ages personally. I think it looks really cool. So on the dial here, you can see it is 12 hours and then also the 24 numbers as well if you're doing military time, or if you want to do the full 24-hour clock, that's available to easily do on here. And this is also a Quartz watch. So quick breakdown again for people who may not know. Quartz watches run on batteries. Then there are automatic watches, which are, they have a spring in them. They're wound by a rotor that spins based on your arm movement and winds the watch. And then there's also manual wind watches in which you take the crown and spin it and that will wind the spring that drives the movement of the watch. So this is a Quartz watch. It runs on a CR2016 battery, easy to get. It's also got 20mm lug width, which means this is going to work with a lot of your bands you can buy most places, whether that be at a store or on Amazon or straight from Timex if that's your thing. It is also a very thin watch. It is only 11mm thick, so the whole house is shaking. Someone's got that bass going. If I'm wearing this on my watch, you can see my little muscle right here. It's below that little muscle with my arm straight. So it's gonna fit really nicely under a sleeve or anything like that. It's a 40mm case diameter on my 6 and some odd inch hand. What? On my 6 and some odd inch wrist. It looks good from far away. I have no complaints with the way it looks. It's got a mineral crystal glass. This is kind of my first complaint. So this was a $55 watch. That's where I got it from at Kohl's on sale. It does have an MSRP of $90 though, straight from Timex. I'd recommend if you're gonna buy this as your first watch or as a beater watch, try to get it on a sale. Getting it for $90 is a bit much. Mineral crystal glass is just plain average old glass. It's not acrylic. Acrylic is like that plasticky thing was very standard in World War I. You can buff scratches out of it really easily. This is gonna shatter or crack, and that's pretty much gonna be it for it. And then there's sapphire, which is much more scratch resistant. However, it is a little more likely to just shatter on impact. You take what you can get. But for 50 bucks, mineral crystal is fine. For $90, I'd kind of like to see something a little nicer, but hey, that's just me. It's well made. A lot of people like to crap on Timex because they like their very expensive watches, and this hobby is kind of, people are gatekeepy here, especially on Reddit, places like that, which is where you're getting a lot of easily accessible watch information. The comments on YouTube can be like this as well. Timex was very innovative back in the day, less so now. They're kind of trying to find new footing, but I think that they excel at this, especially if you're getting it on sale. And it's built well enough that it's probably not going to break. You're definitely going to get a few years out of this unless you're just smashing your arm on things. I can honestly, though, recommend it for that. If this is your first adult watch, your first real boy watch, your first big boy, I want to get my own, analog, non-digital watch, I can recommend it. However, if you want to kind of see some more expensive, what can you do for double, triple, quadruple the $90 that this would cost at MSRP, I recommend sticking around for some of my future videos because I'm going to cover the watches I bought in the order I bought them. So you can kind of see my direct watch journey and get an understanding into the choices I made, why I made them, and why I might kind of regret some of them. Impulse buys. Not very good at that anymore. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this Timex Scout Expedition or Expedition Scout, ask them in the comments down below. I'll be sure to jump in there and answer any questions you may or may not have. I will also link the Timex website and the Amazon link to this watch down below. I would also recommend looking at local big box stores and trying to get one on sale if that's what your prerogative is. And if not, check out all my social medias linked down below. You can also check out, well, subscribe here for more watch reviews and tech reviews. I don't know what we're doing exactly with that. Also my gaming channel and twitch.tv/SkullHQ where I stream once or twice a week. Same with my gaming channel. I stream in both places. So other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this first watch review and I hope to see you soon. Take care.